Day, we had Kema Kamara. On Youth Sunday, Dominique Demings, one of our young people, co-presided and Chima Obukari preached. On Father's Day again, Roger, Chris, and Juan, new voices, deep faith, and a renewed understanding of God's grace. Our young people are increasingly integrated into worship. A healthy church is one where many voices are formed, empowered, developed, and entrusted. So we have been listening to all of you, and what we heard was clear. We have a desire to celebrate progress, a need for financial transparency, a call for strong leadership and staffing, a commitment to caring for our property, a deep love for music and worship, and a readiness to grow. So we developed 4 pillars as part of our framework. So we organized everything we've heard from you all, as well as feedback during our vestry retreat. So the 4 areas, they're not just categories, but they are a way of strengthening our whole life, the whole life of the church. We're looking at 4 P's: people, programs, property, and principle. People, programs, property, and principle. People are just the individuals, the collective, the ministries. The programs are more deeper into the ministries, like our ushers and our altar guild and auxiliary ministries of that nature. Our property deals exactly with what it says, our buildings and our grounds, and the principle is our stewardship when we get to assess our financial health. So at this moment, I am going to take a pause so that we can actually hear from our leadership, those elected and appointed at this time. And Kay, I think I had you up first on the agenda. And so we'll hear from Kay Pearson, who's a vestry member, as well as our nominations chair.
Good morning, Trinity. Good morning. What? Let me try it again. Good morning, Trinity. Good morning. That's what I'm talking about. I need that energy. My name is Kay Pearson, and I am on the vestry and as an outgoing vestry member. I am chairing the nominations committee. And so we are looking for a few good people. The vestry handles the business of the church. This includes the budget, property issues, staffing, and finances of the church. Particularly want to appeal to younger people. It's not that we're all that old. It's just that we want fresh leadership and want energy. All right. Yes. But we need the experience too. So I'm encouraging all people who are looking to get a deeper dive into Trinity to consider this. The election of the vestry members is held in December during our annual parochial meeting. Deadline to apply will be about 4 weeks before that meeting. I believe 5 slots will be open. We meet monthly, plus a few calls. It is a serious commitment, though. It is, you not only commit to the meetings, but you commit to doing some of the work, to participating on the committees, to do what you can to enhance the ministries of the church. And we are a joyful group. Adolphus is wonderful to work with as a senior warden, and Shayna, of course, is amazing as director. So, and there is a lot of camaraderie among us. So I really encourage you to consider this as your ministry, as your contribution to Trinity. If you feel called, and I hope you do, please reach out to me or the office. As you know, we have a new office administrator. So make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Be a servant in his vineyard be part of building Trinity and God's kingdom here in Washington, D.C. Okay, and with respect to the diocesan delegates, did confirm that they were going to Thomas and Tracy as they will represent. What they do is represent Trinity at the annual convention, which is held the last Saturday of January. So the next one will be the last Saturday in January of 2027. That concludes my report. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am the junior warden, and therefore the person who handles property. And when I look at the 4 P's, I really think property should come first, but that's just my opinion. Without the people, we have no property. So, yes. There are a couple of things that have been happening, and we do have the report, but I kind of have a short version. That Trinity has good bones. Our church has been strong since 1887. Think about that. We're still standing. And our parish hall and rectory since 1941. It's older than I am, so yes. These buildings have been places of worship, community, celebration, and service for generations. And with faithful stewardship, they continue to serve generations to come. Like any historic property, however, we have the ongoing care. We have to take care of this property, and deferred maintenance is a reality when priorities and budgets compete. But I am very pleased to report that we're making progress. And it seems like sometimes it just seems like we take, I feel like I take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. But that's part of it. That's part of the job. The child care space is one of our highest priorities because it comes with income. And when I say that, if they're asking their air condition breaks down, I'm just using that as an example, it has to be fixed. If the door is unsafe, we have people's children in there, and we don't want a liability, so that's why, basically they're the priority, they're generating great income for us. So we are now restoring it and replacing windows, fresh paints, and possibly new flooring. We have received $25,000 in seed funding and are working to match that amount to complete the entire project. I think tariffs have really hit work people seriously, because trust me, what costed $10,000 last year is costing over like $20,000, almost double the amount. So that continues. Like I say, keep in mind that when we make decisions, that's the priority. Okay? And any organization that comes in here with children is a great responsibility for us and can bring a heavy liability. The front lawn, that we missed out the seeding. Seeding season window. I have to understand these things, right? There's a window for seeding. I found that out as long as I've lived in DC, nearly 40 years, that there's a seeding window. So therefore, we passed the seating window. And we'll have to wait until September, apparently. And I understand the reasoning behind it, because July and August are the hottest months and the seeds will die. But I'm not a gardener, so yes, I do understand. And thanks to the generosity of the 100-Day Club, it's fully funded. So they already got a deposit, and we're moving forward with that, probably in about September. Our kitchen back there, our wonderful commercial kitchen, an income generating place as well, because we have to be supportive of ourselves when it comes to finances. The commercial refrigerator broke down and had to be repaired. We're currently waiting on a new compressor for the freezer. So if you see that the freezer is not working, we have to wait. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's taking a very slow time, all its own time. The appliances continue to serve us, but they are old and they need to be replaced. So that will take part, hopefully we'll add it to the 2027 budget. And the example when I say appliances are getting old, we replaced the HVAC system. The split unit in the daycare, that was like 23 years old, right? And it just wasn't working. And if you walk through that front door, you smell a smell, right? We do.
Rolex.
Anybody who denies that, it's not my news. I know I must say, according to the 12 tribes of Israel, the Rastafarian group, I'm a Levi, and one of my sensitivities is smells. So I smell everything. So it might just be me. So the grease trap is not grease-trapping, and the kitchen, the grease trap and the kitchen piping, they're causing this odor that goes down by the broiler room and is there, and it stays, and it just smells. And the immediate project estimate is approximately $10,000 to stop that smell, which I think we really have to stop, especially when we're renting to outsiders. So we're actively seeking funding for that. The choir room. We have a wonderful choir. We enjoy the music, don't we? Yes, yes. And we have to be very supportive of them as well. That's one of the things that is a priority as well. So the phase one of their renovating the choir room to make it more pleasant for them, since they spend so much time in there. And it will include ceiling repairs, which please don't go there and look up, because maybe you should do, because then that maybe will drive you to give us some support when we're asking for it. The ceiling repairs, drywall, flooring, and it is made possible through the generosity of the Booker Wyatt Foundation. So we do have, support to begin the phase one. But what we really want to do is add more aesthetics improvements, which you'll see later, that will require future funding. And our partners for Sacred Spaces grant will help us continue bundling these repairs with other capital projects. And here's my favorite one, Dahlia House. Who knows where Dahlia House is? All right. Okay, so when I assume this thing in January, by the end of January, I was just getting used to all this property. I do have property, so I do manage some property, but not to the extent where within 1 month there's a pipe burst, pipe freezes, and the house is just now up for renovation. But behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So it's an opportunity to reimagine what Dahlia House is going to look like. Once home to the volunteer corps, and later an emergency shelter. Now it sits vacant. And from September through November, the rector and I will host 3 listening sessions during the forum hour to hear your ideas about the future of Dahlia House. We want this vision to reflect the hopes of our congregation and the community. There are sections of it that will be definitely renovated by the end of July. The parish hall and sacristy. Yes, we hear you. Yeah, we hear the concerns about the parish hall and sacristy. Looking up at the ceiling again. While they're not our most immediate priorities, there are priorities, but not right away. They remain important and are part of our long-term facilities plan. And for those of you wondering about the AC, I will probably be having somebody look at it tomorrow to see if it can be replaced as opposed to be repaired, as opposed to be replaced, as it's younger than the daycare one. And it will cost less as usual, but we really need to stop these temporary repairs that we patch and go that we have with them. But I will see what the person says when they come in and update you. How can you help? That's an important, last but not least, how can you help? We will soon publish a comprehensive list of projects across our campus so that anyone who wishes to contribute time, talent, or financial support can easily identify where help is needed. Every gift, no matter its size, strengthens our ministry. Members of this congregation are actively pursuing fundraising opportunities, grants, etc., rental income, and to support this work. While the needs can seem overwhelming, we are already making steady progress. And with your prayers, generosity, and partnership, we will continue moving forward. Our buildings are more than just brick and mortar. And I can tell you that this congregation, as I stay here, when I say that and I stand here and I have to do things, and sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I thought about resigning from the vestry, to be honest with you. Nobody knows this, right? I did think about it. But one thing came to me. When I first came to this church within like a month, I was sitting in here very distressed because I was a single parent. And somebody came over to me and she hugged me and she said, everything will be okay. And I don't know who the person is. I honestly don't know. It just meant so much to me that this is why I stayed here, because we are a supportive, awesome, God-driven community. So there are sacred spaces where we gather to worship and where lives are transformed and where we answer God's call to service. They reflect our faith, our mission, and our commitment to future generations. And to say this, I have a 13-year-old and I sent her a recent picture of herself downstairs. My children live in California, they're California girls. I sent her a picture of doing something downstairs in Sunday school, and she was like, oh my God, Mommy, I want it. Make sure you bring it the next time we're with me. So this church means a lot to my children. So future generations, we have to take care of them. That is why they are worthy of our care, our stewardship, and every effort we invest in this church and in their future. Thank you. Am I the one to recognize you? Yes, please.
Should I come forward or?
Whatever. We need the microphone. Everybody needs to hear you. So
Okay.
The microphone, please.
I might be short, but I think I'm loud enough.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well,
Ms. Gleason, the junior warden, I thank you for your job. I know what that position is. So, you are doing very wonderful, believe me. I believe your position, you wear more hat than any other position on the vestry. So you are doing very great. And so keep up the good work. So I have a question to ask. Are we still making income from this Father Hano Parish Hall? Because I know in the past we used to rent it out for weddings, events, and all that. Are we still doing that?
Are you just asking about the naming of the hall?
The rentals. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes.
Oh,
Actually,
yes.
yeah.
There's a couple.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
Because you said areas were making incomes and all that. You didn't mention that.
No, the church hall?
Yes.
Yes.
For those online,
Yes. We are going to talk about this space at some, yes. But this space is also income generating, and we need to make sure we put it on the priority list so that the burden can be relieved from the congregation and we could be self-sufficient. That's our goal. Everything we do now will lead us there. Okay? Coming to you, my friend over here.
Good afternoon, officially Trinity. I won't force you like my mom to be. All right, so I have a presentation just to give you some background on some of my credentials as an interior designer. I recently graduated from Marymount University with my master's in interior architecture and design. Thank you all so much. And for my thesis, I designed a behavioral health center that would have replaced directory as a theoretical design. And so doing so, Reverend Shayna loved my concept and asked me to do some concepts for Trinity. Two specific places that we started with is the choir room and a possible labyrinth that would be right out there through those windows. So we'll get started. So when I was coming up for the concept for the choir room, or the design for the choir room, I started with acquiring research. So that included asking Kelvin, other stakeholders about what you needed in the choir room. So that goes like changing rooms, acoustics, lighting, sound, what kind of needs are needed. So through that assessment, I was able to come up with some of the goals that we need, some design goals, and also look at the potential opportunity that the choir room has with renting out spaces. So we want to address mostly the structural and health concerns. There's some mold growing in there. There's also lots of books, lots of remnants of choirs from choirs past. Also some acoustical concerns with sometimes the rehearsals of the choir and the sounds bleeding out into the church. So through all of this, we would break this down into possibly 3 phases. So phase 1 would address the structural concerns. So that would be the mold, the ceiling, the flooring, the bare bones of the choir room. Phase 1B would be to replace kind of like the windows, the radiator covers, new closet walls, possibly we're exploring that option, and also flooring. For phase 2, it would be more cosmetic, so that's more aesthetics, making everything look pretty and gorgeous, but we really want to address the structural concerns first. So I developed 2 concepts based on concept goals that, again, address the MEP, or mechanical and structural concerns, uphold the traditional liturgical style of the room. This church is neo-Gothic, or the Gothic revival style, so also studying, I want to say some of the details of that design and bringing that back into the choir room. So that way it's consistent with the church's design. Sorry, it's a little unnatural to speak like this. Okay. Let me grab the mic. So concept A is basically just the essentials. So it would be revitalizing everything, new structure, like walls, some of the changing rooms would be added, flexible furniture would be added. So it's more of like a bare bones, this is what we need to address and we can still make it pretty. Concept B is a full vision, which includes a bathroom in the choir room, which there isn't one now. And it's very time consuming and difficult for some people to come all the way to this restroom from the choir room. And also it would help with renting out the choir room as a space. So conference room, maybe for a bridal or groom party for a wedding, but having those amenities in that room would make it a lot more operable. And we can go to the next slide. So on the left, you see pictures of the choir room as it is. Maybe if you're not a choir member or an acolyte or a clergy, you haven't been up there, but I encourage you to take a visit so you can see what it looks like and maybe start envisioning the after. On the right are renderings that I completed using Revit and Enscape. Next slide, please. So this is a video walkthrough of the space that I created. We have lockable storage for the choir members to ensure safety of their belongings. You have the changing rooms on the left, enough chairs for 30 people. There's a kitchenette, an information board, and a desk for the music ministry leader. So this is the concept for one. And this is concept two. You see built-in casework with lighting, the radiator covers. We still have the lockers with the storage. They would have number keypads instead of a lock, just in case people forget. We have the bathroom in the back left corner. Still some of the same amenities, for example, the changing rooms. And also a water fountain, which would also be a great amenity to have up there. And again, it's basically like the same kind of, you see like the desk, obviously the functional furniture of the choir room, just to see it. But the bathroom is supposed to be the more higher end version. And now we have the labyrinth. So this is supposed to be a living sanctuary. When conceptualizing this, I had lots of conversations with Reverend Shayna about what this space, the experience of this space is supposed to be. So it's rooted in an ancient tradition. I don't know if you've heard of a labyrinth, but a lot of medieval churches or Gothic churches used labyrinths for meditation. So you'd walk around this circle and eventually just kind of meditate on your own spirituality and kind of, just an introspective moment. So this is what this garden would potentially be for the community. It would be open to all. Of course, it would have hours and it would be locked and be able to, be secured. So that way we don't have any unwanted visitors. And also at the center of the courtyard, you see a cross that can be viewed from all angles and still be a cross to kind of, whenever you are walking on the labyrinth, you can reflect on our Lord and Savior's sacrifice. Next slide. Oh, so that would be right in the center over there in the courtyard. As you're looking out the window, it's also great, a photo op for weddings, events, any kind of event happening. People can walk out there. Another great aspect of it is that it has lots of, I want to say, aromatics. So another experiential part of this is that you can smell lavender and rosemary while contemplating, while walking the labyrinth. So it's supposed to be, again, a fulfilling experience, contemplative, meditative. Also, the seating in the labyrinth is benched because it doesn't want to be too comfortable. It's supposed to be a temporary time that you spend in this garden. So if you're wondering why the chairs don't have backs, that's why. Also, lots of natural materials to reinforce that biophilic, as we call in the industry, that connection to nature. And here is a video walkthrough. As you can see straight ahead, those are the windows of the parish hall.
Without the wires.
Yes, without the wires. Another part, I guess, issue with the courtyard is that it's not super sunny. I tried to model some of the trees that fall into the yard just to get an idea of the path of the sun and what could feasibly grow back there. So we're trying to figure out some of the best things to grow. So if you are a gardener and you have some suggestions, we'd love to hear. But right now, we're working with rosemary, lavender, I believe creeping thyme, and a couple of other plants. Medicinal and aromatic things. It's supposed to be a garden of wellness. And that's the presentation. Thank you so much, Trinity. Take questions? Come up to the mic, please. Oh, sorry, Q&A is at the end. I'm so sorry.
Write your questions down.
Thank you all so much for your patience, and I know we're eager to engage. I can feel the excitement in the room, but if you wouldn't mind, please jotting down your thoughtful questions and comments and feedback, and we will get to them in the end. It could be that during one of the presentations things get answered as well, but if you could save them for the end and join the committee also. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Trinity. My name is Paula Smith, and I am serving as your treasurer now here at Trinity Church. Thank you. As your treasurer, my primary responsibilities is to report and maintain the accuracy of the income and expenses of Trinity Church. It is also my responsibility to be responsive not only to the vestry, but also to you, the members of Trinity Church. So I am always open and available for any questions you may have. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I know we normally have such a lot of stuff to report. Y'all have a copy of the statements through April of 2026. It's a lot of information, I know, but take time to digest, and like I said, if you have any questions, you can ask me at the end or even at other times. As of, it's a good thing. Our year-to-date revenue as of April is $228,491. Our expenses are $168,000. Our surplus, $59,506. We have cash investments totaling $398,1600. So, to give you an idea of where that put us as far as what it was last year, at this time, we actually have $35,000 more this year than we did last year at this time. And in regards to our expenses, we are $37,000 less than we did last year. So we are very purposely looking at the income that's coming into Trinity and really looking at how we are spending our money. And as you can see through different efforts of the property committee, we have done floors, we have gotten new chairs, the bathroom's been renovated, and as Gleason has pointed out too, we get ready to do some work on the lawn. We have installed some new air conditioning, and as she said, other things that we have in the pipeline. So Yes. But one of our main goals is that we really want to approach our finances in a more holistic approach. We don't want to be dependent on just pledges and plate offerings, and not be only relying on rental incomes that Trinity is bringing in at this time. The vestry, as well as other committees, are working on different ways that we can bring in revenue. So we're not just dependent on you, the members. We want to be bringing in money from outside. We're trying to grow our investments and income and earn revenue through other streamlines. And we also want to become more involved with the management system of Trinity Church. And we're looking at having talks with our investment team and all to look at other ways how we can be more sustainable for Trinity Church here. Are there any questions at this time? I'm sorry, no questions at this time. Yes. But one thing I do want to point out as stewards of Trinity Church, it's not just about our money, it's also about our time and our talents. And one of the things as a daughter of the King, one of our mottos is that I am but one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do. What I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will do. Lord, what would you have me do? And I thank the vestry and the people here for giving me the opportunity to serve as your treasurer. Thank you.
As Tina and Jessica prepare to come up to share about the Eye to Eye initiative, there is one brief update. We are transitioning our online giving platform from Tidely to Banco. I don't know if you all are aware when you pay online, it's through a software called Tidely, which is great. However, we are utilizing Realm Church software for our profiles and our accounting. So by using Tidely, Paula, our treasurer, has to manually take the information from Tidely and manually post it into Realm. Whereas with Banco, it's already a well-integrated system, so whenever you make a payment or recurring pledge on Banco, it will automatically post. So we are transitioning to that during the summer, and there will be upcoming announcements and reminders and phone calls and things like that, just to get you all ready. We do hope to have it ready to launch, or a soft launch, around August 1st. We're still working out some of the details, and we will walk alongside of you all the way so that we can collect your money online. So look for that to come in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Great, good afternoon. So with our consistent theme of how do we, look at our beautiful resources that we have, how do we continue to just have some financial independence beyond just our giving and contributions. So one of the things that came from our vestry retreat this past January was really diving deeper into how we can just create other income streams for our church. So one of the items that I know there was a question about was like rental income, looking at all of our different spaces. We also talked about performing arts, so building upon some of our traditions and how do we continue that and expand that in the community. And then grants. Grants are an area that we have a lot of opportunity. We have historically won and been very successful very recently with some grants and awards. And so how do we build upon that? So we met last Saturday with members of the vestry, and we really wanted to take those ideas and put them into impact. So we called it our Ideas to Impact Summit, because we did not want to let another year go by of just talking and brainstorming without actually putting pen to paper, rubber to the road, and delivering on some of these initiatives. So Reverend Shayna prepared a really wonderful reflection, as well as a very historical picture of Trinity, where we came from, where we are, where we're going. And that really allowed us to just blue sky, decide, just really brainstorm together and figure out, okay, where could Trinity be?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Sorry. What report? I'm looking at the sheets. Where are you in the reports?
I'm under Principal Stewardship and Finance Strategy and Sustainability.
Thank you.
And so we really, again, focused on these 3 key areas. And so within the vestry, we've identified 3 folks who will be leading these initiatives and these work groups within vestry. So for rentals, Tina will be leading that. Performing arts, I will be, and Sister Kay put together a wonderful presentation on grants. So she'll be leading those initiatives. So Tina,
just to go a little bit more in depth on rentals, there's a really great opportunity for us to generate a lot of additional income through rental of our space here. So we're going to do a market research study to make sure that the rates that we are charging for our rentals are in line with what other churches are charging. That's first and foremost. We're also going to figure out what it's going to take to turn our kitchen into a commercial kitchen so that we could be making money in our sleep, I should say. Because as you know, there's a lot of caterers and companies that are trying to get off the ground that could really utilize kitchen space. So there's a big opportunity there. And then we're also going to pursue business rentals. So there are psychiatrists, there's all kinds of businesses that could utilize space. So again, we're going to do a deep dive into all of those opportunities as a way to figure out how to generate additional revenue.
Yeah, and then with performing arts, similar to the rentals with the choir room that Nikki had presented, that's another space that can also be an area to generate some income. When you think about, dance lessons, or you think about music lessons, singing lessons, recitals, things like that. Just again, leveraging our spaces. And it's not just about income, but it's also about how are we opening up our spaces to the community. I think we all talk about how we want younger people in the church, we need young families. Well, you typically get young families when you get their children and their friends, and kids are in different activities, different camps. So how do we use the beautiful spaces that we have around us to do that? And then grants, as I mentioned, was another area that we've seen some early successes with that we want to continue building upon. So next slide. So in terms of what's next, so like I said, we've divided into kind of these subgroups. We're doing some market research. We're meeting with different ministry leaders at Trinity, and we'll be reconvening in July to present what we found and essentially help prioritize which of those ideas we really want to lean into, especially this upcoming church fiscal year. We will be inviting volunteers in the parish to participate, so if you've heard something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out either to myself, Tina, or Kay. There'll be an opportunity to participate in September, and we'll have some updates there. We can talk about
Us to create an online giving account. So it will start in August, like she said. We will have demonstrations at our church picnic. And by the way, mark your calendars. Our church picnic will take place Saturday, August 29th. It is the weekend with that date change that everyone will be able to be in attendance. But that will be your first real opportunity to see how the online giving, how Vanco works, and how to create a profile in Realm. We will also be demonstrating all of that here in our parish hall after church service going into the fall. So right now I think it's about 20% of us have accounts through Tithely. We really want to make sure we get that to at least 90%. As you can imagine, the bills that we have the month after, week after week after week. So regardless of whether or not we come to church and put money in the plate, we still have to pay those bills. And so if we can get everybody set up on electronic giving, I think that is going to be the first step in us being able to accurately determine, what we're working with and how we can allocate those resources across the different needs that we have here in our parish. So again, mark your calendars for August the 29th, our church picnic, and stay tuned for all the information that will be coming your way about how to sign on to Vanco and Realm to create an online giving account. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, there is a ton of food remaining, so I just don't want to end and then we have all this food and then it goes to waste. So if anyone wants to take home some things, we have a bunch of chicken in the kitchen still. There's, I think, some meatballs left over as well. So whatever's here, please take with you. Thank you.
I told vestry to not bring a lot of food because it'll give y'all the itis. And I need your attention. And half of y'all ready to take a nap, so I need you alert. I need you alert. All right, we only have a couple more presentations to go. But at this time, just an update on the music ministry and the pipe organ restoration, which we've been pretty good about keeping you all posted. They took out what I call the guts of the organ. They went underneath the console, and then pretty soon they will be addressing the pipes in the back. So more to come on that area of our music ministry. As you already know, during the summertime, we normally just have soloists or smaller ensembles during the summer. We did bid very well to the Denmarks as they continue to enjoy their retirement. They may come back and visit. I think they've been back already a couple of times to visit and want to return to play at some point in time, but for now they're enjoying their retirement. But that means that because they were volunteering their time, that our budget line will increase in terms of paying for a musician to come play at the 10:30 service. And last week, if any of you attended the 8 o'clock, we had music then as well because we live streamed for Father's Day. And I had some folks who usually attend the 8 o'clock service say, hey, we like this. Can we do this more often at 8 a.m.? So I would love to have a listing with those who have been faithful and dedicated at 8 o'clock to see what you all want, what you all have in mind, and then we can create a budget around that, possibly for 2027. So our chancel choir, seeking volunteers. Anyone interested in singing? If you can hold a tune in a bucket with a lid on it. Okay? Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Join the choir. We're ready for your voices. We're ready for some new sound, and I'm sure our Director of Music, Kelvin, will welcome you. Our choir reconvenes in September. They usually rehearse on Thursdays at 6 o'clock p.m. and 6:30? 6 o'clock p.m., because y'all know how y'all work. It starts at 6:30. So I'll correct that time on the flyer. And Sunday mornings at 9? At 9. 8:30. So please join the choir. If you know of others who desire to sing, please invite them. Mark wanted me to remind y'all that rehearsals are on Thursdays. The itis is kicking in. Let me get through this. The Children and Youth Choir launch, and Tina and Sister Carolyn, I hope it's okay that I'm putting you both on the spot. We have been in the process of revitalizing our Children and Youth Choir, and it's been challenging, as you all know, because with our parents, we are contending, if you will, with schedules, and that's life. And we also want to expand our Children and Youth program to include those from the community. With that said, we would love for you all and others that you know to sign up. We hope to relaunch the Children and Youth Initiatives in the fall when everyone has returned to school and back from vacations. And under the direction of Sister Carolyn and Tina, they're coordinating, and of course in collaboration with Kelvin and his oversight as the Director of Music, we do want to relaunch the Children and Youth Choir now. I get it. We have our little ones who are like 5 to 7, and then we have our teenagers. And our teenagers and our little ones don't always enjoy being all grouped together. Because you get our teenagers like, I love Jesus. I don't really want to be here. They look all disinterested, so we're going to try to provide music appropriate for each age group so that each one can enjoy and engage in the ministry. So make sure you talk to Tina and Sister Carolyn Bryant, and there's more information forthcoming on that. Tina already mentioned the annual parish picnic, RSVP on by August 24th. The picnic is Saturday, August 29th. We hope you'll join. It's always a lot of fun. DJ, good food, dancing, games. Nia, Tina, they put on like the whole spread. Michelle with the games, it's awesome. Sister Cora, she yells at people during bingo. Come out. Come out and enjoy yourself. So, on behalf of Jordan and Naja, again, another save the date for our upcoming homecoming weekend this year. It is themed Arise, Shine, Illuminating the Future Together. It is inspired by Isaiah chapter 60, verses 1 through 3. We had a keynote speaker for the weekend. We invited Father Paul Abernathy to come back, and he said yes until he couldn't. Unfortunately for us, but fortunately for another church, he decided to take on another call. So he is working for another church in North Carolina for this season. And so his... Oh, in South Carolina. I thought it was North. No? In South Carolina. One of the Carolinas. So he's in South Carolina working with the church, and all of his Sundays are now committed. So we will not have him with us this year. We are in search of other suggestions. So if you have any ideas or recommendations, please make sure to send the names to either myself or Jordan so that we can secure a speaker for that Sunday. If not, you're going to be stuck with me. All right. Sister Margaret, you want to share some comments about Homecoming 2027? I'm on a roll. On behalf of Sister Margaret, we are already working ahead for Homecoming 2027 because there is a special ceremony that will be a part of it. And according to a resolution that was passed, there was a dedication of the Bishop Harmon Hall that was supposed to commence but did not because of the busyness during the time. So we wanted to have an official dedication ceremony, and because of that, we had to get permission from Bishop Buddy and then get on Bishop Harmon's calendar for next year. So there's some things that were already in the work just out of sake of the calendar schedules. So we will have a homecoming weekend next year, 2027, from October 8th through the 10th. And so Bishop Harmon has said yes. And when I spoke with him, I told him that a little birdie told me that he enjoyed playing basketball. So I asked him, when he comes, can we have a baller's night with Bishop Harmon? He said, well, Reverend, I'll have to dust off my sneakers. So hopefully we'll have some time with Bishop Harmon, some of our kids. We'll play a good game of 21 before the weekend gets started. So we're looking forward to enjoying him and him dusting off his sneakers. And I believe Margaret said that she will start some of the planning probably after this homecoming?
Yes, after the summer.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon. If you're interested in being a part of this committee, I invite everyone's ideas and suggestions.
So please see me. We'll actually start planning. Most of the planning will start probably after Easter next year, but we want to get some preliminary things going after this moment. So I look forward to all your suggestions and all of your input. I want to make this a ceremonious and welcoming back for him. Thank you.
Are you on Piney Branch? Yes, sir. We're on Piney Branch. Yes. If you come in through the church doors, it should be open. Can someone get the library? Yes.
And there are parish hall.
All right, somebody's coming to get you. Thank you, Verizon. Verizon is here. We've been having internet issues for like the past 48, 72 hours, so we are grateful for their arrival. Yes. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap this up because you all already know what we've been doing, what we've been saying, and I want to jump into some of the Q&A that you've all had. But there is something that I do want us to think about, and that is not only where we've been, but where we are now. But who is God calling us to be? I want to especially acknowledge Deacon Alethea as well as Leslie Brown, who established the partnership with Tacoma Elementary School Neighbors in Flight. So, building on the legacy and the history of Trinity, we are being called, continually called into community. Building on those 4 pillars of people, programs, principles, and property. Hey, somebody's listening out. Gold star, gold star. We are being postured for mission. We are strengthening ourselves internally so that we can go out externally. Because of what we are building internally, we are now in a better position to look outward. Our community faces real challenges. Although in Northwest DC, which is supposedly, the more affluent part of town, there are still pockets of where violence and trauma take place, housing instability, food insecurity, mental health needs, and youth and senior support. And Trinity is positioned to respond, not just in word, but in presence, and in many ways we have already been doing this work. So the phase plan that we are in, and as mentioned earlier, we will roll out the 5-year strategic plan coming up. A part of the phase where we're kind of in and growing out of is building. Then we'll shift into structuring, strengthening, and sustaining. Because what we want is a strong foundation so that when people come in, they will feel connected and not herded like cattle, right? So we're not just looking for members, we're looking for disciples, for people to engage deeper in the ministry and to be as passionate about God's call in our lives as we are. Trinity exists to follow Jesus Christ and to share and be the light of Christ to one another, our neighbors, and the world. And I will close with this. Bear with me. Who we are. We are a Christ-centered parish rooted in the Episcopal tradition, grounded in Anglo-Catholic worship, enriched by the cultures and traditions of the African diaspora, multicultural in community, arts rich in expression, and committed to healing, hospitality, and service. Trinity Episcopal Church is not merely preserving a historic building, we are building a living one. For nearly 140 years, Trinity has stood at the corner of faith and community on Piney Branch Road Northwest, a beacon of light, hope, and renewal in the heart of Ward 4. You all know that we're in Ward 4, right? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure you know where you are. What began in 1887 as a gathering of the faithful has grown into something far larger than a congregation. It is a movement, and that movement is not finished. We are becoming a healing-centered, multicultural, arts-rich, community-anchored parish that serves this ward and beyond, a place where every resident finds welcome, every culture finds dignity, and every neighbor in need finds care. We are a church of many nations, many generations, and one calling to transform lives, build community, and change the world through God's love. If some of you are unaware of our history, we were founded by Reverend Dorsey. His photo is in the top far left corner. He was a white man from Baltimore who translated for indigenous tribes. He translated between the indigenous groups and the local government in order to help them engage more fully in the life of what was then developing. It is in our DNA to be a house of refuge. It's in our DNA to be embracing of all peoples. We are sanctuary in this space. We are growing spiritually, numerically, and financially. We envision a sanctuary filled to overflowing, where the sound of worship rises from every generation and the pews reflect the fullness of the community God has placed around us. We are committed to this corridor, not just for the next decade, but for the next 138 years. We are a church of inheritance, legacy, and invitation. We honor the wisdom of those who have gone before us, and we are intentional about passing that inheritance forward to our vestry, our staff, and the next generation of leaders rising within this community. We actively welcome young people, teenagers, young adults, young families, not as the future of the parish, but as the present. Our hope is not merely to maintain an institution, preserve a building, or balance a budget. Our hope is to be transformed by God's love and to model that love for others, helping Trinity become the parish God is calling us to be. A beacon of Christ's light, faith, hope, healing, and belonging for Ward 4 and beyond. Our calling together is to transform lives, build community, change the world through God's love. This is not just the work of leadership, this is the work of the church. There is space for your voice, for your gifts, for your presence. And as we look at this moment, we give thanks because we are not standing still. We are building something meaningful. We are becoming something stronger together. And God is not finished with us yet. And may the church say, Amen. All right. That concludes did we miss anything? All right, so we can open it up for Q&A at this time. If you have a question, we do ask that you come to the microphone and share.
I just have a question. I didn't see what you were saying. Shayna, was it not in here?
That is correct. You didn't see it because it wasn't in there. That was easy. Next question. We had some challenges printing, but we will be sharing a full report following the meeting. So thanks for lifting that up. Okay.
The one that I had earlier, I could address on an individual basis, so that's fine. Thank you.
I see that we have summer camp. Does it have anything to do with Trinity? And if so, what are the ages? Someone asked me, that's what I'm asking.
Yes, we have a summer camp here during the months of June through August. And the ages range from 5 to 8 or 9, I think. So they're kind of in that elementary school range. And what was the other part of that?
No, you asked that.
Oh, it's not a part of the church. They're called Adventures on the Hill, and they rent our space. And they've been coming here maybe 3 or 4 years. So they've been here for a while. Yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank our sister over there for the beautiful rendering. I'm the choir. I really, really appreciate what you did. It's absolutely beautiful. I just wanted to mention another need, our choir robes, and I know it's a little different outside of the structural, but I just wanted to mention that and share that it's an issue. We don't have enough. They're kind of, it'd be nice if we could get like new robes. That's all.
Thank you. We will add that to our list. Dear Vestry, you all heard that? We need some new robes, y'all. That's going to be the 100 Club 2027. New choir robes. Choir robes. You said that's not property. It's been recorded, so that we take care of it. Thank you, Rita, for looking that up. Also, as a member of the choir, we do have some choir members who are physically challenged, and so getting up and down those stairs is also a concern for them. And there is no real other space other than the sanctuary where we could rehearse. So I would like to make a request of all of us, because we do have a population right now that's aging and we're looking to draw some younger people in. But for those of us who are becoming challenged with dealing with stairs, if we could consider either a chairlift or something to help people get up and down. Thank you so much. A chairlift is a part of the 5-year strategy. We received 3 quotes for chairlifts. And I'm thinking like, oh, we'll get a chairlift. It's just about $10,000. They average about $40,000 and up. So it would be a bottom to top chairlift on the platform, but it's in the works, and hopefully it will be a property project that someone will be willing to either take on or that we can get some capital for. So thank you. It's definitely a priority and on our list. And honestly, please feel free to take advantage of the sanctuary. Happy to speak with Kelvin about that if that makes a difference. Yeah.
I just want to ask, I don't know if someone asked about it before. What is the status with our pipe organ? And I know that they've started working on it, so can we get out there on that? I'm sorry.
Listen, let Henry have his shine. I will answer that, Henry. We are working on it, and they will continue. We'll have some scaffolding up sometime in July, August, and we hope to have it fully returned by September. Yep. So for now, we're on the piano. Yeah. Great question. I just want to catch you up.
I had a question regarding the 2 choir concepts. The second one had a drum kit. Did the first one also have a drum kit?
Yes, they do. They both have drums.
Yes.
There's a drum kit up there now.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Yes. That's why the drum kit.
If you say blank,
Oh no, it's been there. It's already there.
First of all, Sister Marcia, if you wouldn't mind standing.
Yeah.
You look so beautiful. And Brother Mike, you too. It's their 46th anniversary. I just want to say to
my dear child back there. I got her name now. Nikki. You know, Nikki is so creative. Ever since I've known Nikki from she was a little girl in Sunday school, she's always been creative. So I just wanted to thank her for the presentation. The choir I don't know much about, but the what do you call over there? Labyrinth garden. I think it's a great idea. I love it. I love the the building and you've got the style and everything. And we've been talking for years of getting something over there. So I think it's a good presentation. I don't know if it's up for a vote or not, but I like it. And I think that the aromatics or sensory things of how we recognize God using our five senses and adding all that. So we do have some deciduous trees that are year-round. They're not just, the leaves will not fall off in the fall. So I guess when they get to that point of planting, we can discuss some of the trees. But I like, I don't know if you guys like the design. I love that design. I think like cathedral like that. But Nikki uses her talents in the church a lot, and ever since she was small, I mean, she's always done something very creative, and I've always enjoyed. So thank you, Nikki. I take care of my child.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your comments. And honestly, with the labyrinth, that was inspired by Sister Olive Franklin. I don't know if any of you know Sister Olive, but she had this postcard. She saw this labyrinth in South Africa, and she was like, I think we should have one here. And so we were just trying to envision where to put it. Do we put it in the front? And right there just seemed ideal, so that as everyone is in here, you have something beautiful to look out over or to enjoy. So yeah, so again, these ideas are all from you all. I'm just here to help make them happen and to synthesize them.
My comment is on the, we were talking about the grease trap. First thing you said.
I hear you.
Okay, when you first walk into the building, the first thing you smell is the grease trap. I've worked in food probably like 28, close to 30 years. But either way, if we're talking about renting this space right here, Harmon Hall, the kitchen, that's the grease trap would be the first thing that you need to take care of, because if you got potential clients coming inside of you, that's the first thing that's going to cut them off. So I think the priority would be to get that grease trap knocked out first, then you can focus on everything else. As far as this space downstairs.
See, nobody likes the doo-doo scent. We gotta change it up. So we'll make that a priority. Thank you very much, Sue.
Thank you. I was going to hold off and do it on an individual basis, but since everybody's here and involved, I'll go ahead real quickly. Regarding the choir room, Gleason said that there was a plan for the summer, an immediate plan for some renovation, particularly the ceiling and the floors and the walls. But I wonder how that fits in with what Nikki has proposed, because that's not something we'll do this summer. And I just don't want us to fall into the pattern of repairing and then 6 months later, like the ceiling, if you look at me, see mold, that was repaired a year or so ago, and now it's back. So I don't want us to just do something quick and repair it, and then, have to go over and deal with the underlying cause. So I just wonder how this supports with the other. Are you working together and timing and all that?
We definitely are working together. We already met with Nikki, and I have the concept, and I'm working with a contractor as well. But like again, financing, we're looking at that not happening again. We need to stop, whatever it is, we need to stop this quick fix, because it does not work, because you keep investing money in a quick fix. It does, in a place like this, it really is not the most ideal situation. So don't worry, I already have Nikki's drawings. I already have, I'm trying to figure out on there, right? So I know, and if I have any questions, definitely I will reach out. The contractor has the drawings as well. So we are, within the money that we have access to, we've decided that the mold was most important. Whatever he's looking at the roofing as well, because that is coming from that, right? And then we start with the rest of it. Okay? You are most welcome.
Thank you. And that is the other reason why we had Nikki do some of the design work, because oftentimes we have these great ideas, but no one's putting it in writing or creating like a visual concept. So that's why it was important, part of Nikki's work in her ministry, to have those conversations and then create these images to say, this is what I heard you all say. And so, you know, with, in particular, as Sister Marcia said, she said, doesn't know if it's coming to a vote or anything, but it's not a vote, but rather it's just a proposal, it's an offering. And before we break ground, we will bring it up again to everyone, just to make sure that we have full buy-in. Because one thing I've learned about Trinity is that people like having their input. So we want to make sure that that everyone feels good about the space that we're sharing. This is our space, so excellent point. But the choir room, y'all don't have a say in that one. We're getting that done. The floors are trash. And Nikki's concept looks good. So we're just gonna go with that as close as we can so that our choir members can feel loved and so that we can love our space. So it'll be good. I think we hope to start some of that work maybe later in July or August before the choir gets back. But we have to start with the roof. We have to start with the foundational pieces and then work around. And I don't know about any of you, but sometimes, you know, that expression, champagne tastes, beer money. Well, right now, we kind of in between. So we got to make do, right? we can replace some things, but we got to make other things look pretty and buy us time until we can afford something different, all right?
Tina mentioned that we're considering doing market research for using this space. One of the things I want to ask the committee to look at is how other churches are treating the rental of their space for nonprofit organizations. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, things like that, to offer them the space. And I'm going to say rent-free because I heard stories the past weekend of churches that had offered their Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts the space without charging, and they got the people to come into the church as members because they were like, this is a group that cares about the community and they didn't charge us. So there'll be some trade-offs for how we treat nonprofit groups versus profit-making groups. And I just want to be sure we look at that.
Thank you.
We already do have nonprofit groups that utilize the space, like Brightwood, which is our AA group, and we have some other groups that, you know, on a sliding scale, pay a contribution, but you're absolutely right. We did explore some fundraising versus friend raising and how we can bridge builders in that way. But obviously your insights are always invaluable, so if you wouldn't mind joining. Oh, I took that about that to the
All right, stop. There's a question down here.
I have a question.
First, I just want to thank everyone for your presentations. You've done an excellent job. I served briefly as a secretary for the vestry, so I know what our job is to get every reports done. So I really appreciate that. One thing I did want to mention when she was talking about stair lifts, I have developed some problems with my knee, and it makes it difficult for me to come in the front, and often I can't come in the back, come in through the back way. So I don't know if we've given any thought to the front entrance, if there's some way we could have something that would, a small ramp or something to help us get up the steps. So that's my thought. In the front.
We have been talking about this we have, because not everybody can come around the back, right? So we have been talking about accessible for all people to come in, make it easier, okay?
I got one concern. The restroom downstairs by the window is a bit too small.
Niles, we appreciate that. You're not the only one who shared that comment. But unfortunately, because of the way the walls are structured, we can't take that down because it's considered to be, what we call roll there. Sorry.
Good morning. Hi. I have heard so much about the community bringing new people in, and especially partnering with groups of children. And that tells me we're likely to have an expansion of our Sunday school if that happens. Right now, we have only enough ability to work with children from actually before preschool, toddlers up through about age 9. And it's kind of okay because the older children are becoming acolytes and doing other things. We don't quite have the space. But we have lots of work to keep the space up. I know we're having a meeting next month, Reverend Shayna, to be able to discuss some of these things. And I know that we have been spending very little. And we don't need a lot, but our children are right now moving on. Some of them have become regular members of Sunday school. I want to make sure that we are doing what we can for the training, especially of new people, because what we're using right now is a Montessori-based program. It's different. I'm a catechist, not a teacher. God is the teacher, and the children know that. There's no play. It's all work, but it's theirs. Everything has to be made. You probably have some people that are handy and making some things in a specific way that we would really appreciate, because everything is specific to the child's relationship with God, Christ, and each other. From the babies who are still crawling, like JD, who is now trying to take over everything that the older kids are doing, even though he's only 2. And we don't have space, and we need to have some regular upkeep, more than just the pickup, because we have things that get broken. And we put up new curtains, everything's done. Somehow something happened, and now the center of the curtains was open. So there's a regular need to be able to give attention. And I also want to invite people, and I know you said the stairs are hard, to see what we have downstairs. I don't know that anybody here, other than the people who have volunteered, have actually seen the space in the next big one. And we're probably going to have some other decisions made next month. I'm looking forward to having that, so I don't want to go ahead of myself. I just wanted to bring that up because our Sunday school kids are our future. And I see some of them that we hear today that have been very, very attentive to us old people. So I just wanted to bring that up. And we've got a assistant over here who wants to be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister yes, we will have a conversation about expanding our children, youth, and families formation ministry along with Christian education, because we do see the importance, and that is also part of the 5-year strategic vision, because what ends up happening is that we do pop-up programs here and there, but it's kind of like, well, what is it, where are we going? How is God calling us into that work and moving it deeper, not just in reach, but how is God calling us into the community as well with all of these offerings? I mean, we are surrounded by brilliance, and I want to share us with the world, and Trinity is ripe and ready for it, so we'll be in conversation about that and talking more about expanding the ministry. I am aware that it is now after 1 o'clock. I want to close this out. We just wanted to give you a survey of what is happening within our parish community, what the vestry has done. Can you give our vestry, those who are left, another hand? And I'll close this out in a word of prayer. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Gracious God, we give you thanks for all that has been said and done on this day, for the consecration of our hymnal books that we have been blessed with, for our vestry leadership, for our lay leaders, for our ministries, our programs, and for your Holy Spirit, which postures us to continue the mission beyond our walls into this community. Now, Father, as we leave this place, but never ever your presence, grant us safe traveling mercies and a good day's rest. And for all these things we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
May we call for motion to adjourn the meeting, please.
Second? My emotion, she seconded.